Hey Jesse, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. First of all, I just want to say thank you for releasing this album.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you made the decision not to put it on hold and to release it, especially at a time like this where everybody's feeling pretty low.
Oh man, I'm happy that you embraced it. Thank you.
How does it feel for you, especially considering the fact that this is your first debut full album?
I'm definitely still nervous that I made the right decision. I was definitely significantly apprehensive, but I kind of just decided to jump and see how it goes.
Why were you so nervous about it?
Like the whole premise behind the album was to be a catalyst for people to think about their mortality, and it's difficult to miss the heavy irony of the fact that now it doesn't seem like a catalyst, it more so seems like a theme song to the reality of life. And I was apprehensive about coming off insensitive just because I was raised with a different idea of death. Like I've been thinking about my mortality every day. I always think about that I can die tomorrow, but I know that for everybody that's a heavy sentiment because it comes off more morbid than it does like celebrating life. And I was apprehensive that it would be received that way. But it's me. It's authentically me, and it's talking about my perspective. So I just decided to lean into the decision.
Yeah, totally. How is it seeing the reaction from fans?
It's nuts, man. It's nuts feeling that sort of embrace and that sort of love, especially in the unknown, because like no one's ever really released an album from their home. You know what I mean? And done promo and everything from home. But I'm appreciating everyone that's sharing it, everyone that's listening to it in quarantine, and like sharing it with their friends in quarantine and in the FaceTime chats and everything.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't anticipate that the world would be like this with the release of your album, so that's crazy.
Yeah. I definitely didn't.
I want to talk about Eminem on this album. So obviously you worked with him on his. Was this song with him something that you decided on when you were working on his album, or was this always the plan for him to be on yours as well?
No, it kind of just happened organically, to be honest. We've been wanting to work together again since, but we just didn't have a plan set out that was specific. And when I was finishing the album, it just made sense. So we sent him the record. And I was honestly in disbelief up until we had the vocals. Like when they said he likes the record, he's going to try it, I was like, yeah, okay. And then when they were like, he's going to the studio, he's recording it, I was like, yeah, okay. And they were like, he's sending over the vocals. I was like, yeah, okay. And it wasn't until I got them that I really like accepted that I was getting blessed with an Eminem verse on my debut album.
Yeah, that's insane. How can you be shocked though, especially with when you've worked with him in the past and you know he's such a huge fan of yours?
Because it doesn't matter. He's still a legend. He's still a legend. He's still this artist that I've looked up to since I was younger. So the effect's not lost. You know, it's not lost on me that it's still an honor. It's not lost on me that he's very selective with his collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a small group. You know.
Totally. Yeah. And when all of this went down, you were on tour with Billie Eilish. So how was the first part of that tour? How did it go?
It went lit. It was fun, man. It's always nerve-wracking when you gotta be an opener because you're not going out to your people, you know.
Yeah.
You're going out there, and what's crazy is that sometimes you're lucky enough to have your people in the audience, but that tour was sold out. Usually you get an opener to like maybe help out tickets sometimes, but they didn't need anybody for tickets. They were completely sold out. So it was a gift to whoever they brought on. But you're coming out to like completely to people that might never have heard your stuff. So it's a different type of show. Like the first 10 minutes is almost like introduction and winning people over and everything. And I gotta say, man, I got embraced. It was dope. I felt by the end of it, it felt like it was familiar. They were family. It was friends. It was
yeah. Do you feel like you go out there and you just have to? It's like proving yourself to all these people.
I don't know about I guess proving, you could use that word, but I don't know if proving is a difficult sentiment for me to stand behind, just because it makes it seem as though the performance in the song is contingent on their acceptance, and it's not.
Right.
Because I've been an opener before where it was completely difficult, and maybe it was just not the same sort of love, but I still did it. You know what I mean? And I still felt successful, and I still followed through. But it's uphill. It's coming into a room full of your friends versus coming into a room full of strangers that could be your friends at the end. You know?
Right.
So it's not so much as proving yourself as it is getting to know people and introducing yourself and just showing them what you got. You know?
Yeah, I love that. That's so great. Well, I'm glad that it's going well, and hopefully you guys can pick up from where you left off.
Thank you. Yeah, God willing. I hope so.
Yeah, last time that I saw you, when you came into the iHeart studio in Toronto, you had a back injury. So how are you doing with that? How's that all going?
I'm doing way better, thank God. That's the other part that I was sad about, because I was so apprehensive about going on tour with this injury. I was nervous, and then it was going so well. Like, it was going so well. I barely felt it. I was happy. And now I got nowhere to jump and nowhere to sing and nowhere to sing. But still, my back is doing better. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no problem. So how have you been passing your time in isolation?
I've been learning to play piano again. I've been learning some of my songs on the piano. I'm still writing music. Like, I never really stopped writing music. And I've been doing a lot of this, a lot of interviews over the phone and on Skype and like interacting with fans online, talking to them about the album, all of that.
Yeah, I actually caught an Instagram live that you did, I think like last week now or something. And I caught a part where you were talking to a fan, and I love that you would like bring fans on to chat. I think that's so cool. And you were giving like a piece of advice on somebody who is trying to make it in the music industry. So what is typically like your biggest piece of advice that you give to people when they ask you about that?
Make sure that your objective is critiquing yourself. Basically, make sure you don't suck. You know, because sometimes we have this false sense that it's good, but make sure you don't suck. Make sure that you're actually working on your craft to get better, because it's important. And that, paired with intense work ethic, is unstoppable. The concept of being able to critique yourself constructively, look at yourself objectively, and build yourself up to your full potential regarding your skill, while simultaneously viewing every failure as an opportunity and not losing enthusiasm when you fall, but just being able to get back up, I think they're the two primary keys that help me get as far as I am right now. And they're also a constant that I hear from mentors that I look up to and from legends that I look up to, that it's just, you just have to be relentless in that way. You have to be relentless in self-betterment, and you have to be relentless in finding opportunities and failures. And I think those two things have helped me a lot.
I love that. That's like I feel like that's a good piece of advice for like anything that you're going after in life.
Oh yeah, man. I think so too. I think that if you apply that in anything, you're prone to find success.
Jessie, is there anything that you want to say to the people who are stuck at home feeling pretty low right now?
Listen, if you're feeling low, I hope the album doesn't get you any lower. Maybe there's 3 songs on there for you to get you feeling better, but the rest of them is like hell and sadness and depression. So don't feel obligated to listen to the whole thing now if you're feeling sad. However, if you're the type of person that likes to feel like you have a friend that is going through it with you, or like you like crying out your sadness through sad songs, then I urge you to listen to the album. I hope you're washing your hands. I hope you're not going to freaking parties. And I hope you're being considerate of doctors and nurses that are on the front lines, that are sacrificing time with their families, sacrificing having the privilege of being able to hug their kids or hug their parents, just to help us as a community get over this. And if we're considerate of that, then that means that we're staying home. Then that means that we're not going to parties. Then that means that we're just doing the essentials. And if you're at home and you've been abiding by that, I applaud you. Thank you for thinking of your community first. Thank you for helping us get better. And I hope you like your music.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jessie, so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.